All right, George. All right, your next comic, she comes all the way from Glendale. Please welcome Ruth Sowby.
It's good to be here, guys. Did you like Burbank better than Glendale? Okay, everybody wish me happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Because I just turned 80. About 60 years ago, was anyone alive at that time? Okay, I was a teenage reporter for Channel 7, ABC. And one of my first stories was covering the Watts riots. Do any of you know anything about that? Well, I was young, the writers were young. Some of these writers were pretty cute. So I went up to one of them. I said, hey, Mr. Looter? Do you want to go out sometime? I mean, maybe you can kind of finish your pillaging and that sort of thing. Well, you know, I really didn't say that, but I thought of it. And years later, I thought, gee, I shouldn't be using the Watts riots as a dating app. That's kind of funny. But I'll tell you, my favorite interview was with Paul McCartney. They were, the Beatles were singing, having their concert at the Hollywood Bowl. And we did a little bit of pillaging and looting of their footage so we could show that on the news. Afterwards, the Beatles filed into the Capitol Records building. I went up to Paul. I don't know why I had this idea, but I said, Paul, do you have any wedding plans? And he said, none, unless you'll marry me now. And I said, I will. We both threw our arms around each other. I mean, we didn't kiss or anything, but I mean, this is Paul McCartney, and he asked me to marry him. So when I told this to my assignment editor, he said, oh, we're going to run that film at 11. See, in those days, we shot film. Film! And we developed it in our little dark bathroom behind the assignment desk. You know, nowadays it's so different. A lot of the news, I think, is packaged. Everything seems the same. The guys have the same haircuts. Some of the weather's the same in various cities. But then he did like the raw stuff. It wasn't packaged. And it was unique. They had me. You're a good crowd. Thank you. I thought I'd get to see Paul again and kind of find out, do you remember me, your sort of fiance? Would you ask all the girls to marry you? Were you stoned? So I thought he was up for 7 Grammys a few years ago. And I thought, well, this is my big chance to see him again. So I hired a cameraman because Channel 7 was too cheap to want to cover the Grammys. So I got my cameraman, and we were marching off to the shrine where the Grammys were several years ago now. And my cameraman said, there's Ron Jeremy. Ron Jeremy, the big porno guy of the world. Ron Jeremy. And I said, well, how do you know Ron Jeremy? Oh, you've filmed his specials, right? Oh, yeah, but I also moonlight as an actor. As an actor? You mean you're acting having sex? Or are you really having sex on Ron Jeremy's films? Oh, yeah, it's very legit. I said, well, maybe we should sort of wipe down the camera lens. Anyway, I saw Paul, but he didn't see me. But I wanted to thank Ron Jeremy for helping to get us into the Grammys. He just said, just stick with a lot of girls with boobs, and nobody will ask you, why are you here? But you know, even Ron Jeremy ghosted me. Yeah, even Ron Jeremy, so I guess that saved me a big shot of penicillin. Thank you. I'm Ruth Sowby.